It is 5:31. We're opening this regular session of the Calexico City Council at 5:32 p.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. Can we have roll call? Here.
Here.
Let me call him because he asked me to call him so he can be in the meeting via conference call.
Okay.
So he can say yes. Councilmember Camilo Garcia.
Here.
Here.
Okay, perfect.
Here.
Not here. Okay. Seeing no public comments, we're going to adjourn straight to closed session. It is 5:32 p.m. It is good afternoon, everybody. Muy buenas tardes a todos. It is 6:35, son las 6:35 de la tarde. Welcome to the Calexico City Council open session of the agenda. We're calling this meeting to order officially at 6:35. If we could please kindly have roll call.
Mayor Concluding.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Gloria Romo.
Here.
Councilmember Camilo Garcia.
Present via Zoom.
Councilmember Gilberto Manzanares. Councilmember Javier Moreno.
We have one absence, Mr. Moreno. May we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Go ahead and read the mission statement. City of Calexico mission statement. Together, we pledge to provide effective and efficient services in a courteous and respectful manner to improve the quality of life for all in our unique border community. Viva Calexico. La invocación. Padre, ¿pudiera invocar esta sesión por nosotros desde aquí? Desde aquí.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. I'm going to pray. Let us pray. Blessed are you, Lord God of all creation, whose goodness fills our hearts with joy. Blessed are you who have brought us together this day to work in harmony and peace. Strengthen us with your grace and wisdom. For you are God forever and ever. Amen. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Muchas gracias, Padre. Moving on to closed session announcements. Closed session?
Thank you, Mayor. City Council went in closed session on two items. Direction was given, but no reportable actions were taken. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll be moving on to the approval of the agenda. Are there any motions?
So moved.
There's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Manzanares. Is Camilo okay over? Ms. Palomino, is Camilo, do we want to call him? Is he able to listen to us? Yes, I heard it. Okay. Motion to approve, a second by Manzanares. We'll take a roll call vote.
Mayor Raúl Ureña.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gloria Romo.
Yes.
Councilmember Camilo Garcia. Councilmember Gilberto Manzanares.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Moving on to presentations. We do have the honor today of having a retiring interim police chief, Mr. Legaspi, for 34 years of service, cumulative to the city of Calexico. We are honored, and I'll go ahead and read this proclamation before we start with the religious blessings for his career and his dedicated service to the city of Calexico. I'll go ahead and read the English version, and Ms. Romo will kindly read the Spanish version. Señor Legaspi. Proclamation honoring Interim Police Chief Victor Legaspi for 34 years of service, and I shall add dedicated and consistent service to the city of Calexico. Whereas the Calexico City Council believes that it is important that we honor and acknowledge those people who contribute to the citizens of Calexico. And whereas the Calexico City Council here today expresses its appreciation to Victor Legaspi and honors him for his distinguished 34-year career with the city of Calexico, and dedicated service to the residents of Calexico. And whereas Victor began his career in the city of Calexico in 1989, where he held the following positions throughout his years of service: 1989, police officer; 2001, police sergeant; and 2023, interim police chief. Whereas after giving the city of Calexico 34 years of dedicated and honorable service, Victor has decided to retire on October 21st, 2023, and spend time relaxing and enjoying life with his wife, Lizette, and his wonderful children, David, Candace, Vanessa, Michelle, and Cassandra. And whereas the city of Calexico wishes to honor Victor Legaspi for his distinguished service to the citizens of the great city, and commemorate his many years of service to the city of Calexico and its citizens. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Calexico wishes to express its sincere appreciation to Victor Legaspi for his loyalty to the City of Calexico, and wishes him much happiness as he begins this exciting new chapter in his life. In witness whereof, I hereunto affix my signature and the official seal of the City of Calexico on this 18th day of October 2023. If we could have a standing ovation for Mr. Legaspi and his retirement. Señora Romo, si se fuera tan amable de leer la...
Va a ser el señor Orozco.
Orozco wants to read. Okay.
Chief Victor Legaspi, I am honored to stand before the esteemed members of City Council, city staff, and community members to pay tribute to a distinguished law enforcement professional, a dedicated public servant, and a beloved figure in the Calexico community, Chief Victor Legaspi. Chief was born and raised in Calexico and comes from a family of public servants to this city. Following his past, Chief Legaspi decided to enter the profession of law enforcement. Chief Legaspi's journey in the Calexico Police Department commenced on October 18, 1989, a day etched in the annals of the department's history. He was handed his first badge by his father, Victor Legaspi Sr., signifying a legacy that would shape his path and future of our city. Assigned to patrol duty, Chief Legaspi dedicated his early years to protecting our streets, fostering connections with our community. His commitment to the youth of Calexico became evident when he assumed the role of Police Athletics League Director on June 24, 1998, facilitating after-school sports events and memorial trips that brought joy and inspiration to countless young lives. Through these efforts, Chief Legaspi sowed the seeds of positive engagement that continue to bear fruit in our city. He was promoted to the rank of Police Sergeant on April 23, 2001. Chief Legaspi found himself on the front lines during tumultuous events of 9/11, providing steadfast service to the city during a time of national crisis. His unwavering dedication to the safety and well-being of our community shone brightly during those challenging days. On July 15, 2002, as an administrative sergeant, Chief Legaspi assumed the complex administrative duties of our department, including internal affairs investigations, assisting command staff with the day-to-day operations of the department, and ensuring the integrity of our law enforcement practices, and upholding the highest standards of accountability. Education played a pivotal role in Chief Legaspi's professional journey. On June 9, 2006, he achieved his associate's degree in administration of justice from the Imperial Valley College, followed by his bachelor's degree from the University of Phoenix on April 19, 2009. These accomplishments reflect his unyielding commitment to personal and professional growth. In recognition of outstanding contributions to our community, Chief Legaspi was picked by the Calexico Chronicle as their Monday Mover. Chief Legaspi was also honored with the Community Leader Lava Award in 2015, a testament to his lasting impact and leadership. For the past 18 years, Chief Legaspi has spearheaded the Calexico Police Department's Kids and Badges program. This heartwarming initiative has brought joy to hundreds of Calexico children during the holiday seasons and forged enduring bonds between our officers and our city's youth. In June 23, 2023, Chief Legaspi took the role of interim police chief for the Calexico Police, concluding a remarkable 34-year tenure of service to our city and its residents. His legacy is one of unwavering dedication, leadership, and community engagement. As we bid farewell to Chief Victor Legaspi, we do so with profound gratitude for his tireless efforts, his commitment to our community, and his lasting impact on the Calexico Police Department. We extend our best wishes for a well-deserved retirement and express our deepest appreciation for his honorable service to our city. I want to give thanks at this time to his family, who shared him with us all these years. This is also your accomplishment. Thank you, Chief.
Jefe Víctor Legaspi, es un honor para mí leer estas palabras ante los estimados miembros del Consejo Municipal, el personal de la ciudad y los miembros de la comunidad para rendir homenaje a un distinguido profesional encargado de hacer cumplir la ley, un servidor público dedicado y una figura querida en la comunidad de Calexico. Ese es el jefe Víctor Legaspi. El jefe Legaspi nació y creció en Calexico y proviene de una familia de servidores públicos de esta ciudad. Siguiendo el pasado de su familia, el jefe Legaspi decidió dedicarse a la profesión policial. La trayectoria del jefe Legaspi en el Departamento de Policía de Calexico comenzó el 18 de octubre de 1989, un día grabado en los anales de la historia de nuestro departamento. Su padre, Víctor Legaspi Sr., le entregó su primera insignia, lo que significa un legado que moldaría su camino y el futuro de nuestra ciudad. Asignado a tareas de patrulla, el jefe Legaspi dedicó sus primeros años a proteger nuestras calles y fomentar conexiones dentro de nuestra comunidad. Su compromiso con la juventud de Calexico se hizo evidente cuando asumió el cargo de director de la Liga de Atletismo de la Policía el 24 de junio de 1998, facilitando eventos deportivos después de la escuela y viajes memorables que trajeron alegría, inspiración a innumerables vidas de los jóvenes. A través de estos esfuerzos, el jefe Legaspi sembró las semillas de un compromiso positivo que continúa dando frutos en nuestra ciudad. Fue ascendido al rango de sargento de policía el 23 de abril del 2001. El jefe Legaspi se encontró en primera línea durante los tumultuosos acontecimientos del 11 de septiembre, brindando un servicio firme a la ciudad durante una época de crisis nacional. Su inquebrantable dedicación a la seguridad y el bienestar de nuestra comunidad brilló intensamente durante estos días desafiantes. El 15 de julio del 2002, como sargento administrativo, el jefe Legaspi asumió las complejas tareas administrativas del departamento, incluidas las investigaciones de asuntos interinos, ayudando al personal de comando con las operaciones diarias del departamento y garantizando la integridad de nuestras prácticas de aplicación de la ley y a mantener los más altos estándares de rendición de cuentas. La educación jugó un papel fundamental en la trayectoria profesional del jefe Legaspi. El 9 de junio del 2006 obtuvo su título asociado en Administración de Justicia de Imperial Valley College, siguiendo de su licenciatura de la Universidad de Phoenix el 19 de abril del 2009. Estos logros reflejan su compromiso inquebrantable con el crecimiento personal y profesional. En reconocimiento a sus destacadas contribuciones a nuestra comunidad, el Calexico Chronicle eligió al jefe Legaspi como su agente de mudanzas del lunes. El jefe Legaspi también fue honrado con el premio Lava, el líder comunitario en el 2015, un testimonio de su impacto y liderazgo que fueron duraderos. Durante los últimos 18 años, el jefe Legaspi encabezó el programa de niños e insignias del Departamento de Policía de Calexico. Esta conmovedora iniciativa ha traído la alegría a cientos de niños de Calexico durante la temporada navideña y ha forjado vínculos duraderos entre nuestros oficiales y los jóvenes de nuestra ciudad, que seguirá continuando, por supuesto. El 23 de junio del 2023, el jefe Legaspi asumió el cargo de jefe interino de la Policía de Calexico, concluyendo un notable mandato de 34 años de servicio a nuestra ciudad y sus residentes. Su legado es de dedicación inquebrantable, liderazgo y compromiso comunitario. Al despedirnos del jefe de Legaspi, lo hacemos con profunda gratitud por sus incansables esfuerzos, su compromiso con nuestra comunidad y su impacto duradero en el Departamento de Policía de Calexico. Le extendemos nuestros mejores deseos de un merecido retiro y expresamos nuestro más profundo agradecimiento por su honorable servicio a nuestra comunidad. Muchas gracias y que Dios lo bendiga a usted y a toda su familia.
¿Está aquí presente el padre Hilario? ¿Todavía? ¿El padre? ¿Se fue?
Sí, se retiró.
¿Se retiró? Ok.
Tiene
Todo bien.
visa.
Ok. CPOA, ¿alguien relacionado a Legaspi que quisiera decir unas palabras? Anybody that would like to say some words from CPOA? Any officers? ¿Qué? Adelante.
I just want to thank Interim Chief Legaspi for his dedicated 34 years of service, a mentor, figure, loyalty, respect within our department. I want to thank his family as well because you're the big support system for him, his children. As a law enforcement officer, oftentimes, you know, you dedicate a lot of time to your community and leave a lot of time, you know, you take from your family to give to others, and it's really appreciated. And we wish you good luck in your next venture. Thank you.
Adelante.
Thank you. Good evening, council. Good evening, public. Officer Legaspi. My name is Jaisal Mendoza, District Representative for the Office of Senator Steve Padilla, and I have my colleague, Lorena Minores Montes, here with me tonight. Given that she has a long working history with Officer Legaspi, or Chief Legaspi, I am going to allow her to do this recognition tonight because I do believe that it'll be a lot meaningful, or it will have a lot more meaning coming from her.
Good evening, everyone. Buenas noches. I think a lot has been said about, with all due respect, Vic, as some of us call him, Sergeant Legaspi, as I know him. Thank you for all the service to our community, to the people of Calexico. One thing that sticks to me personally with Sergeant Interim Chief Legaspi is a talent show that we worked with many years ago, where he brought some stars from Hollywood. And a lot of the young kids in Calexico were really happy to meet Freddie from iCarly. And I was really happy to be serving the table where he was sitting. And I know Victor was a really big part of bringing these people down. That this talent show was able to bring lots of funds for the Kids and Badges that serve the community to be able to take some of these kids shopping during Christmas time. I mean, you've done an abundance for our community. And I know you've done it with a big team, but, you know, I was able to help you that night, and it was an awesome experience. Thank you for everything. Thank you to your wife, like it was said, for allowing you to continue to serve with us after you threatened us a long time ago to retire, but you gave us a few more years. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Ms. Roman, are you guys gonna take a picture with him?
Mr. Legaspi, if you could stay right there. We're going to present the city flag to you as well.
Vamos a bajarlo.
All right.
Come por acá para que esté con la sí.
Would all the officers like to
Will you please come?
I'm going to make it short and sweet. I'm going to thank everybody, especially my family, for enduring all these times, for allowing me to spend half of my lifetime, or more than half of my lifetime at the police department. I was always there on my days off. It's crazy. But I also want to thank the police department, the police officers whom I love. There's always been my second family. I've been here since for many years, 34 years, and I was in my early 20s when I first started. My first goal was to be a musician until I went on a ride-along and I fell in love with police work. So I got rid of the music and I became a cop. And I know my father is looking upon me, who was the first person. The person that pinned me my first badge. And I know he's up there looking at me, both my mom and dad. So thank you all. Thank you, council, for showing up. You guys surprised me this afternoon for my last call. Didn't expect that. So thank you very much, council, for showing up. And I also want to thank Sergeant Armando Orozco, who's going to be taking the reins. He's a good man. So God bless, and I'll keep you all in my prayers. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Mr. Legaspi. Moving on to public comments and public appearances, not to exceed 3 minutes. This is the time for the public to address the City Council on any item that is not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. The mayor will recognize you, and when you come to the microphone, please state your name and place of residence for the record. While members of the public are encouraged to participate, it is unlawful to disturb or delay the council meeting with personal or slanderous remarks. The City Council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included in the printed agenda. If the item you wish to comment on is on the public portion of the agenda, we will take your comment when we get to it on the agenda. Please direct your questions and comments to the City Council. For the purposes of this meeting, we do have a lot of requests for public comments, so we will be taking the first 30 minutes under this item, and the rest of the public comments will be taken at the end of the agenda unless there is majority opposition from the City Council. Moving on to our first speaker is a written comment. Okay.
Did that require an approval? He wants to continue.
The first speaker is a written comment from Amalia Gonzalez. This is a request to submit a public comment for the next council meeting. As a part of the Calexico community, I want to know what is the status of the recovery fund programs. They said that they would contact us if we were approved or if any additional information was required. And at this time, no one from your team has reached out to us. If we won't be approved when W-9 forms will be returned. Those were pre-signed and attached to the registration package. And this is from Amalia Gonzalez. Our first speaker is Mr. David Garcias, representing SEIU 221.
Run it by the council.
Oh, just
Make sure that they consent to it.
okay. Mr. Garcia, before we proceed, if you could just stay there, I do have to make it a formal motion. I'll make a motion to take 30 minutes of public comments now and move the rest to the end of the agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second by Manzanares. If we can have a roll call vote.
Mayor Raul Ureña,
Yes?
Mayor Pro Tem Gloria Romo,
Yes.
Councilmember Camilo Garcia,
Can he hear us?
Councilmember Gilberto Manzanares,
Yes.
Motion passes. Adelante.
Okay, thank you. My name's David Garcias. I'm the representative from SEIU Local 221, representing the Calexico Certified Water Operators. And I just want to say I've been representing the water operators here for about 11 years and formerly a public employee myself. But I'll be handing over the reins to another organizer, and I just wanted to introduce him, but also say that it's been my pleasure and to be able to represent the Calexico employees for my 11 years, as well as be able to make sure that the city is operating properly and being able to be a part of this experience here in Calexico. And I just want to say, when I was a kid, my favorite experience was coming to Calexico to travel across the Mexicali to visit my family, and I always got in the line there to get churros. The churro dealers, as they were selling them in the lines. That was my highlight of Calexico. But I'm very happy to be handing this off to a new organizer, and it's been really my pleasure to be able to work with both the city staff and the members. So I'll pass it on to Casey.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Council. I'm really looking forward to working with you and our certified operators and coming to some great agreements. And I guess there's some sort of study that's in progress, and I'm really waiting to hear updates on that. So I can't wait. It's great to meet you all. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Casey. Nice to meet you. Mr. Garcia, Jesse?
Good afternoon, Jesse Garcia, 600 block Lincoln Street. I think all of you receiving a paper from Mr. Tonio Roldan about the repairs needed at Rodriguez baseball field. I hope all of them will be able to be approved, because they're really badly needed. I don't know if you have gone there, but the concession stands, I mean, it's in very bad shape. You know, holes in the roof. There's no sheetrock. I mean, there's no shingles. There's no anything there no more. It's just a plywood. Plus, no trash cans for the people to throw their soda cans or the things they buy there. So I hope it's approved. Mr. Antonio Roldan has been volunteering at Rodriguez Baseball Field, you know, in his own time for many years, and he has not gotten any help from the city on the things he needs, the park needs. So let's see, hopefully this time, Mr. Antonio Roldan will get some help for materials that are badly needed for the baseball field. Okay, now moving on. Mr. Councilmember Javier Moreno spoke about this the last meeting, but I'm going to do it again today. Fire station number 1 on 5th Street just opened up a few months ago. We haven't had a grand opening like a tour for the public, and I've been waiting for one for a long time. In 1989, we had a grand opening inauguration for Station 2 on Grant Street. I feel happy. I was one of the first firefighters to get to work on Station 2. But now we haven't had one for this station. We want the people to see where their money went to. And I'd like to see where my tax money went to. I've never been inside there. So hopefully it will be done. At Station 2, it was a big gathering. Fire chief at that time brought some of his staff, and we had a big celebration. Well, maybe we can't have a big celebration here, but at least we should invite the public to come and look around. All right, now moving on Ollie and Sheridan. There seems to be like something is turning into a sinkhole. I reported this a few times, and well, still I don't see nothing being done. And I was told it was a sewer line. So the cover that's there, it's starting to bend. It's cracked. And you can see a crack around on the pavement. Like one of these days, it's going to sink in, and still nothing has been done. The last one is downtown. I don't know if there's a law against smoking in public areas like the downtown area. Because one time I was there enjoying the downtown, I was sitting down, and this person lit up a cigarette right next to me. I have COPD, and all that thing is bad for me, all the smoke. And I asked the person if he could please move on, or turn off the cigarette. Good thing he had complied and turned the cigarette off. But if you go downtown, especially in that little placita, there's lots and lots of cigarette butts there. If there is a law against that, I would like for the city to put no smoking signs in downtown area. I guess that's it for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Director Nava, Terry Nava.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
Good afternoon.
City Manager, members of the public. Terry Nava, Executive Director of the Calexico Housing Authority. I'm just here on behalf of the Housing Authority because I have met with many of you. I have had conversations with your city manager. Our legal counsel has met with your legal counsel. And I'm sorry to say that our issue has not been resolved. I was here at your last meeting. I was told it was discussed in closed session. I have followed up with emails, countless messages, text messages, and I look at your mission statement. Your mission statement says to be effective, efficient, courteous, and respectful to improve the quality of life for all. I'm doing my part for the city of Calexico in providing affordable, safe, and sanitary housing. However, I'm not getting any help from the city. All I ask is that you respond in a courteous manner, that somebody talk to us. It's been over a year that we've been discussing this issue, and to no avail. I don't understand. So I am respectfully requesting that we be placed on your agenda at your next council meeting so that the board and the family that this is affecting, who is one of your constituents and one of your residents, have some resolution. We're here to work together for the betterment of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lara. Mr. Acevedo? Mario? Mario Acevedo? Señor Mario Acevedo? No? Okay. ¿Está ahí atrás?
Skip it and follow.
Okay. Hector Melendres? I think it's Buelma. Bien. Señora Acevedo?
Sí.
Adelante.
Sus órdenes. Buenas tardes. Señor o joven mayor,
sí.
Pues estoy aquí con el atrevimiento de estar tomándoles unos momentos de su tiempo, ya que nos está preocupando mucho el que no se ha solucionado nada acerca de lo que ya habíamos hablado acerca de la casa, que estamos interesados en la compra. Y la otra es de que se les manda mensajes, correos electrónicos, llamadas, y no se contesta nada, ni para nada. Se está haciendo completamente en silencio todo, ¿verdad? El día de hoy iban a hablar acerca de una reunión privada entre ustedes y al parecer no hubo nada de eso. La otra también nos preocupa porque ya nosotros, como íbamos a hacer el trámite ya acerca de lo de la casa, entonces ya nosotros pagamos una cantidad a la persona que iba a hacer todos los trámites, y pues ahorita ya me preocupa o nos preocupa mucho el perder esa cantidad. Entonces ya habíamos hablado con usted, señor Ureña, y usted dijo que le iba a dar seguimiento lo más pronto que se pudiera, ¿verdad? Pero hasta ahorita no sé qué debemos de hacer para poder trabajar con ustedes y poder darle seguimiento, que así nos tomen en cuenta y que no nos olviden para nada. Pues se los agradezco de antemano y pues espero respuestas. Señora Colio, le encargamos mucho, por favor. Eso es todo y muchas gracias.
Supuesto que sí. Gracias. Héctor Melendres. Héctor, adelante.
Ok. Buenas tardes a todas las personas aquí presentes. Pues yo nunca había estado en este lugar, pero me dijeron que aquí era el lugar donde si uno tenía un problema, una situación, las personas aquí hacían juntas y uno lo manifestaba. De hecho, ya tuve yo la oportunidad de hablar con Esperanza en su momento sobre la cuestión. Yo soy taxista de aquí de Calexico y represento a los compañeros taxistas, vienen unos aquí. Entonces yo vivo en la calle Segunda, mi nombre es Héctor Buelna Melendres. Entonces, como comentaba, la situación ya se salió de control con las personas que transportan personas ilegalmente, llamados raiteros, que se ponen en la fuente, que llamamos nosotros la calle Primera y la Rocco, cruzando de Mexicali. Se estacionan ahí y se hacen llamar taxis, de hecho, les dicen taxi a las personas ni se fijan a veces. Pero lo más preocupante, de hecho ya hubo una situación este jueves, un compañero le llamó la atención porque estaba llevando niños a las escuelas, y eso pues, yo creo que ya es grave porque no están identificados ni nada, son personas que no se saben ni quiénes son. Entonces a mí se me hace que esa situación ya es grave. Entonces, de hecho este jueves le tiró de golpes el raitero y creo que fue la policía y sí le preguntó qué había pasado y le manifestó que era por la cuestión de un raitero que le llamó la atención porque estaba transportando niños. Entonces yo les agradezco aquí por su tiempo a las autoridades aquí presentes y pues les pido pues si nos pueden pues entender y comprendernos la situación en la que estamos, porque nos contenemos mucho de no caer en la provocación de ellos, porque sería pues agarrarnos a golpes con ellos. Entonces pues lo que les pido yo, la verdad, de urgencia, un operativo, porque ellos no le tienen miedo a nada ni a nadie, un operativo donde se les detenga, se les multe, y operativos que sean permanentes. O sea, no sé, depende la capacidad de ustedes, no sé, cada 2 meses, 3 meses, 6 meses, pero que siempre esté permanente un operativo, de perdida cada 6 meses realmente, pero si fuera cada 2, 3 meses, pues estaría perfecto. Entonces, pues les pido la mayor comprensión y pues con todo respeto vine a hablarles a ustedes de la situación en que estamos.
Señor Melendres, si me podía dejar su número de teléfono.
Claro que
me
sí.
voy a sentar con ustedes en unas semanas como comisionado de transporte.
Muchas gracias, muy amable.
Sí, podría dejar su número. José Luis Contreras. Muchas gracias, señor. Gracias. Adelante, José Luis.
Buenas tardes a todos. Buenas tardes al concilio, a la señora Guadalupe Romo, al señor Raúl Ureña, al señor Manzanares, al abogado de la ciudad y la señora Julio, a todos aquí en general. Buenas tardes. Me llamo José Contreras, mi dirección es el 820 Heffernan. Yo soy un miembro activo aquí de la comunidad de Calexico.
José Luis.
Ya.
El micrófono lo puede hacer.
¿No se oye? Ok, pues es la primera vez que me paro aquí, ¿verdad? No había tenido la manera de poder hablar y pues expresar mis dudas que tengo acerca de... quiero pedirle al concilio, quiero pedirle cordialmente al concilio de Calexico su apoyo para poder tener unos precios considerables en los permisos de nosotros los vendedores de Farmers Market. También quiero pedir a los residentes de aquí de Calexico que nos apoyen, que salgan y participen en estos tipos de eventos. Yo creo que son necesarios aquí para la comunidad porque muchos no tenemos la manera de poder poner un negocio, y estos pequeños Farmers Market hacen que la gente tenga un día por mes trabajo. Eso es muy bueno, yo creo que es muy bueno para la comunidad. También quiero pedirle a la gente que se una a nosotros y que participe. Es muy bueno este tipo de eventos. Creo yo es necesario abrir este mercado donde se beneficiarán de 50 a 100 personas directamente y otras más indirectamente, ¿verdad? Se planea con dicho beneficio por parte de la ciudad establecer un mercado de Farmers Market donde una vez al mes, el primer domingo de cada mes, se lleva a cabo este tipo de eventos para que la gente pues, ¿verdad? Pueda hacer un dinerito extra. Es muy importante que el concilio pues trabaje con nosotros para poder hacer esto posible, ¿verdad? Una de las cosas que nos impide pues son los permisos, es alto el dinero que se tiene que pagar, y pues para nosotros que estamos comenzando pues es una inversión grande, ¿verdad? Yo creo que esto es una buena oportunidad para los jóvenes emprendedores, para los pequeños comercios de esta ciudad, tener una puerta abierta para mostrar sus productos y con esto una reactivación a la economía de Calexico. Por último, quiero decir que pues hay que unirnos, Calexico, hay que hacer unas cosas juntos, no hay que estar peleándonos, hay que hacer... Les voy a dejar un pasaje que no sé si ustedes conozcan, pero creo que es muy importante, que la unidad hace la fuerza. Que viva Calexico. Gracias. Mayor, traigo un proposal, se lo doy. Es un proposal a la señora Julio. Okay. Gracias. Gracias.
Gracias. Señora Liliana Hernández. Señora Hernández.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Lilian Hernandez, as he said. I have been a resident on Calexico for many, many years. I live on Victorias on the R&B Root Court. This is not the first time that I'm here on the City Council, but it's the second time that I try to talk here because I have a concern, and this is a different concern than the first time. This is because I have been feeling that the First Amendment had been broke little by little here on the City Council. It started and happened like last time when they tried to move the comments, the public comments, to the end of the meeting. They tried to do it again. Thank God I get early today and I can talk. And the second time is because the comments on the Facebook streaming is being blocked, and again it's being blocked. I understand that many occasions the people that stand here can be childish, have a wrong behavior, can scream, can do things that are not supposed to happen. But there are people like myself that behave or try to behave as an adult, right? And on the other hand, different council people from here have made fun of people like myself or to other people that come here to speak or have gone to another cities or to another city councils to cause scandals like those that now are complaining about, right? So now I'm worried. And maybe you are thinking, why am I more worried? And it's because I see on the IB Press some statements like, if we know public comments are going to be very disruptive and hateful, it might not be the best thing to start off a meeting that way. But how can we know that the comments are going to be hateful? Nobody knows the future, right? So I hope that this is just a way of speaking. But this way of speaking, for me, it tells me that the people here sometimes are not interested in a different opinion for the rest of the people. That you only want to hear what is something that praises you or that make you feel good. Another quote that I read was, I want to remind the public that the council has the authority to put the public comments whenever it likes, so that council business can be proceed. Well, I was reading the municipal code. It took me a while, but I can find this room. So if somebody can please show it to me, I will be more than grateful to follow up on that. So please respect if you want to be respected, because no matter if we want to criticize what is happening or if we want to applaud something that is good for us, we want to be respect the First Amendment. And finally, if any one of you want to continue here on this path of politics, I would want to tell you a quote that I found today about Harry Truman. And he said, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So if you don't want to be criticized, you should not be here. Okay? Thank you.
Señor Solano, Jesús.
I will claim my 3 minutes with 20 seconds, and then I'm done. You don't need to gavel me out, okay?
How much time?
3 minutes with 20 seconds.
Okay.
So you don't need to gavel with me. When I'm done, I'm done. Jesus Solano, 426 Rosemont, official time now. Senate Bill 1100, SB 1100, open meetings, approved and signed by the governor August 22 of year 22. 1, existing law, Brown Act, requires, with specified exceptions, that all meetings of a legislative body of a local agency, as those terms are defined, be open, not closed, okay? And the public and all the persons be permitted to attend and participate. The bill will define disrupting for this purpose. 2, the bill will make legislative findings to that effect. 3, the California Constitution requires local agencies for the purpose of ensuring public access to meetings of public bodies and writing of public officials and agencies to comply with a statutory enactment that amends or enacts laws related to public records or open meetings, and contains findings demonstrating that the enactment furthers the constitutional requirements relating to this purpose. The people of the state of California enact as follows. Section 1. The legislators find and declare as follows. A. It is the intent of the legislators to prescribe requirement for the government public meeting are consistent with subdivision C of section 54954.3 of the government code, which provides that the legislative body of a local agency shall not prohibit public criticism of the policy and procedures, programs, services of the agency, or the act or omission of the legislative body. B, it furthers the intent of the legislators to prescribe requirement for the government public meetings to protect civil liberties in accordance with the United States Constitution, the California Constitution, the relevant law, not your law. C, it is further the intent of the legislators to codify the authority and standards for the governing of public meetings in accordance with Benito Acosta versus City of Costa Mesa, case law 10-56854, 9th Circuit Court, 2013, in which the court explains that city ordinance governing a decorum of a city council meeting not facially overboard if it only permits a presiding officer to eject an attending from actual disturbing or impeding a meeting, not finding or sending to jail. Section 2, 54957.95 is added to the government code. B, as used in this section, 1, disturbing means engaging in a behavior during the meeting of a legislative body that actually disrupts, disturbs, impedes, or renders infeasible. B, this is the definition of the disturbing a meeting, okay? B, engaging in a behavior that constitutes the use of force or true threat of force. 2, true threat of force means a threat that has been sufficient indications of the intent of a serious, that a actual threat to use force on a personal making, not for a simple comment. That is not disturbing a meeting. I'm done.
Thank you. Mr. Jose Luis Jimenez from Pala Raza DJ Fashion, Taquiza.
Wow. Buenas tardes a todos. Principalmente les quiero dar las gracias a la señora Loreña, City Chief, y a toda la mesa directiva. En verdad, créanme que el estar atrás de un micrófono para mí es algo, pues, me pongo muy nervioso, ¿verdad? Mi nombre es José Luis Jiménez, primeramente me quiero presentar. Soy padre de 3 hermosos varones que mis hijos atendieron la escuela Jefferson, Dude, y finalmente se me graduaron en Bulldogs. Yo quiero traer esta atención, yo y mi esposa, le quiero dar las gracias a mi esposa por apoyarme. En todo este tiempo hemos sido voluntarios en Nosotros Park. Estuvimos ahí voluntarios, creo que 12 años, con el señor Íñiguez, Jesús Íñiguez. Estuvimos nosotros encargados del campo, limpiando todo el environmento que se hacía. Primeramente, antes de que empezaran los juegos, levantábamos, chequeamos que no hubiera jeringas, porque era un lugar que era usado de personas. Nosotros nos encargamos de pintar el campo, arreglarlo, voluntariamente. Nunca exigimos ningún peso ni nada. Yo fui una de las personas que tuvo la suerte y la bendición de ser escogidas como la familia de Christmas de aquí en la ciudad de Calexico. Le quiero gracias al chief, no está aquí, pero mis hijos tuvieron la bendición de tener muchas cosas, ¿verdad? Y a causa de eso, pues yo comencé a amar a Calexico. No lo quiero a Calexico, lo amo. soy negociante. Mi negocio se llama DJ Fashion y Taquiza. Hemos estado haciendo muchos eventos con Morris, con la mesa directiva, los tiempos pasados, los car shows. En verdad, Calexico estaba muy bien y queremos participar todavía hombro con la comunidad, con los negociantes, a traer a Calexico otra vez a vivir, a que Calexico sea algo en el cual la gente se hable de Calexico. Qué bonita ciudad, qué bonito todo de Calexico. Y gracias a toda la mesa directiva que nos está dando la oportunidad. En este momento, como les digo, estoy nervioso, ¿verdad? Yo quisiera decir unas cosas más acertadas, mis labios a lo mejor no están saliendo lo mejor que se puede. Pero estamos aquí ahorita para participar y apoyar a José en la forma que está trayendo Farmers Market. Nosotros queremos participar, dar un granito de nosotros y agradecer una vez más por la oportunidad que se nos está dando en Calexico. En verdad, Dios los bendiga a todos y pues deseo pues seguir estando aquí y agradecerles que queremos nosotros hacer algo por Calexico. No sabemos de qué manera, pero cualquier cosa que estemos disponibles, yo quiero tomar la bendición de apoyarlos, ya sea en cualquier proyecto, si podemos y nos ocupan, estamos aquí para servirles. Muchísimas gracias.
That does conclude our first 30 minutes.
30 minutes, you said 30
That,
minutes.
that does conclude our first 30 minutes, being told by the Secretary and the City Manager. The rest of the comments will be held at the end of the meeting,
You voted for it.
following the closed and open session. City Manager's report.
Good afternoon. I'm happy to report that thanks to Ms. Falomir. All the improvements for the fire station, temporary fire station number 2 has been completed today. That includes 2 travel trailers, electricity, water services are available now, subject to tomorrow's inspection. Once that inspection is done, the fire department will be able to start operating from that fire station number 2.
I'm sorry, Ms. Colio, can you repeat that update just as people make their way
Okay,
up?
so I'm happy to report the fire station number 2 has the temporary fire station number 2. I want to clarify that, which includes 2 travel trailers with electricity and water services are available now. IID completed the work just today, and today the water services were completed as well. And it's only an inspection pending tomorrow from the city to ensure that everything is fine. And once it is done, then the keys will be provided to the acting chief so they can send firefighters to start operating from that facility. So that's going to be tomorrow. I also want to report that Ms. Falomir also is completing the bidding process to begin the construction, the repair of the facility, the west side of the facility with the funding that we already secured. I also want to report that the ribbon cutting ceremony for fire station number 1 is being scheduled for October the 30th at 5 p.m. October the 30th, 5 p.m., which is, I believe, falls on a Monday.
Yes, Monday.
And we did it at 5 p.m. so the people can have access to go and visit and walk through the facility. We want to give enough time to the firefighters to prepare themselves. Regarding the promenade, the Rockwood Avenue, per the direction of Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem, a proposed budget is being prepared by Ms. Falomir with the options to repair and enhance Rockwood Avenue. The option also will be presented for both scenarios, to keep it open or to keep it closed. But each one of them will have a budget that you will have to review and approve. I'm just following out with because you made that request last meeting, so we want to make sure that we follow out your instructions, and it's just taking a little bit of time because we have to contact some of the funding sources. Thank you.
We do have one commissioner report by Ms. Blanca Morales, adelante, from the Bid Commission.
Good Good evening, City Council, Madam Mayor. Thank you for allowing me to do this report. So we did meet. The bid commission met last week, Thursday, on October the 12th, and we were able to elect the officers. So I, Blanca, was elected as the chair, and Robert Gronich is the vice chair. We do only have 3 commissioners. I believe Gloria and Gilberto, you still need to appoint 2 commissioners. If you guys can get those quickly, that'd be great, because we have a lot of work to do. If you need referrals, I'll be happy to help. Because I know a lot of people downtown or over on Imperial who have businesses. One of the things that we have pending, and you just talked about Rockwood Avenue, that is going to be on our next agenda. There is a 50% reduction in their sales. So it's very urgent that we help those businesses. I've been a business owner for 24 years. It's very hard to be an entrepreneur and be a business owner. So if you guys can make that urgent, that decision urgently before Christmas, because right now Christmas stuff is already out and about. People are buying Christmas stuff. That'd be great. I would hate to see them all file bankruptcy, because it's very sad. So I think that's a pretty easy, quick fix. You guys have that authority. We'd really greatly appreciate that. I've also requested with Ms. Colio what's on the next agenda, and I would like to expand the boundaries of the map. The last time it was updated was in 2009, and we have a lot more businesses that came through the other boundaries. I believe over on Imperial, there's been some new businesses coming up, which is great. We also want to look at the bid strategic plan and inclusion of the community volunteers. We'd also like to look at the property owners and businesses, the history of deletion of the bid fees, and arson fires in downtown and abandoned buildings, and discussion of the financial statement as of September 2023. I don't know where we're at, so that's super important. And then we also want to talk about public safety and crime report. You know, there was a taxi cab driver here. There is a lot of crime downtown. We did a lot of outreach there. I have gotten some reports from my staff. People are getting beat up, and the cops don't always get there on time. The sanitation, the cleaning of downtown, it's very filthy. We need to know who's doing it now and how often are they doing it. The traffic flow of pedestrian and auto, there is about 20,000 people crossing daily there downtown. The traffic flow of the pedestrian and auto, there's been a lot of incidents happening with your traffic controllers, and also public safety and crime rate. So those are the things that are our agenda for the bid commissioners. And then also we're going to be collaborating with Pat Ureña here. She's got some things that she's going to also update you on. But if we can get this meeting scheduled, the sooner the better, because the year is almost over. And we have a lot of work to do. So we're all willing to do it voluntarily. Thank you.
Ms. Ureña, Commissioner, adelante.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council and residents of Calexico. Patricia Ureña, Community Services Chair. Just wanted to give you an update on our commission meetings. We've only had one commission meeting in August, but during that time, our ad hoc committees have been meeting regarding the status of the parks. I did report at one of the council meetings. I also provided a Zoom meeting the day of your council meeting, the last council meeting. Unfortunately, I was not here to provide you information on that, but we did have over 20 residents that participated in the Zoom. We are looking, as Ms. Morales said, to work with the bid to talk about the beautification of downtown. One of the things that I'm going to be bringing to the council is the meetings be held bi-monthly rather than 4 times a year. We can't get a lot of work done if we're only meeting 4 times a year, and there's a lot of work that needs to be addressed. As you can see, we have Mr. Garcia that brings forth all the issues that regarding most of the parks, potholes and sinkholes and you name it. He's kind of the watchdog for this commission, because I'm writing down all this stuff. I didn't know about the farmers market. It might be something that the Parks Department can look into, and the Recreation to schedule. I don't know if we're going to have any soon. That information hasn't been out. But I will let the council know, and Ms. Goldio, we've been really busy with the ad hoc committee. I think in numbers, we've probably met about 10 times, just calling people, meeting people, residents of all Calexico, seniors, young children, the school district. We're looking at the MOUs for the use of our facilities. We did provide a presentation on what was allocated from the council to those on Zoom. There was a lot of great feedback as well. In regards to the items that we'll be bringing forward is, and I kind of said it the last time, you need a park master plan because we don't know where we're going with all these parks. We're kind of going around a big circle, maybe Nosotros here, maybe a little Rodriguez there, maybe a little Heber Park. We haven't seen the plan yet. So what we're going to be proposing is that we're going to start some kind of a strategic plan to get more input from the community at large so that they can provide some input, suggestions, so that when we come forth to the council, we can give you great recommendations, and it'll be up to the council to make those approvals or no approvals. We're also looking at the volunteer form. You have a lot of people out there volunteering their services. My concern is if someone gets hurt out there, we need to make sure that we have a very strong volunteer form that will indemnify the city. I do also want to say, before I forget, I want to thank our park and recreation managers. They've been very, very helpful in providing the Zoom meetings and helping us get some of the sports entities to meet with us. We're also looking, like I mentioned, the MOUs for the school district. We want to recommend to the city council that we take into consideration a full inspection of all city playgrounds to get a status of all the conditions and their amenities. Recommending that we also revisit Heber Park and maybe start looking at a set date to implement that facility. And of course, the completion of Adrian Cordova Park. We thank you for the funding that was allocated. We're looking at some other possibilities to hopefully finish that park. This is baseball season. For a lot of kids, we want to make sure that they have a park where they can participate. We're also looking at restroom facilities that are, and we'll be bringing this recommendation to you regarding making them coin operated. So we maybe look at some revenue. There's a whole bunch of things. I think you're going to have about 12 recommendations from us. And then, of course, just to let you know, the utility box program is still up and going. We're extending it because we just need to get more artwork out there. But more than anything, we're hoping that we can start bringing our boards over here so that people can dot what's important to you, whether it's this park, that park, downtown, fire, police, because it all falls under Parks and Recreation. So with that, I'm not going to add any more to the table here, but just so that you understand that we are meeting on November 8th, and we did make a presentation, well, we actually came to invite the bid to our meeting, as well as the residents. If you want to find out, we'd like to find out what is your priority. And we'll be meeting November 8th, 5:30 here at Council Chambers. So we hope to see all of you here. Bring everyone that you can. Thank you.
Mr. Commissioner.
Just briefly, I'm Antonio Garcia. They call me Tony. I'm also part of the
Parks Commission?
County Commission, Community Commission. Two things I noticed that I want to come out. Where is your farmer market at? I've never heard of it. I'm sorry. I would love to be part of that. Where are they located at? Where do you have them?
We're trying to make it Cordova Park.
Okay. Are you going to bring it out in the public and put it? Sure. Excellent. And the other thing I noticed is on the agenda, I don't know if you're going to discuss it or not, I'm thinking about a Christmas parade. That is awesome. Let's bring back everything that we used to value and love about Calexico. I hope it comes through. Folks, thank you for your time and attention. Gentlemen, con permiso.
Gracias. All right, we'll go through city council comments. Mr. Manzanares, if you would like to start.
I'd like to start off thanking the recent seizure by the Calexico Police Department for 65 pounds of fentanyl that was seized within the last weeks. As we know, fentanyl has been devastating many communities across the country. It has quickly become one of the most dangerous drugs in the nation. So again, thank you for the work that you do seizing these dangerous drugs and keeping it away from our community. Also, every time that we're here, we hear a lot of the things that are needed, whether the public works missed an empty can of beer in the park or small things. I want to thank the Public Works Department for the work that they do. We do rely heavily on them for many of the issues around the city, doing the best that they can with the amount of staff that they have. The Recreation Department as well, I want to congratulate them for the amount of events that they've been putting out recently, regardless of, again, staffing challenges that we know the city is currently facing. Providing much needed activities for people of all ages, help nurture hobbies, culture, and improve the mental health of our citizens. As we know, all of these departments are doing the best that they can with what they have. All of them are understaffed, every single one of them. As I've mentioned before, in the last decade, we lost 46% of our city workforce. Even if we wanted to hire magically 20 police officers tomorrow, that we cannot do that without severely compromising another department that is very much needed. I want you to consider that, to think about that, the amount of people that we lost within the last decade. This, of course, affected our economic development because now when you apply for a permit, how long is it going to take for you to receive a response? We currently have about 40 business/projects on the pipeline that are stuck, that are waiting to be implemented and open to give us that revenue that we need to help out these departments that are incredibly understaffed. Which is why I ask the community to please, when it is the time, to support possible tax measures so that we are able to jumpstart Calexico economy and not have to wait 8 years for us to get back on track as we are currently, our projections are dictating. So again, we either wait a whole decade to get back to where we were currently, or we can jumpstart the economy through some of these tax measures that I've mentioned before, such as the vacant lot blight property tax, which I know that there's a lot of that in downtown. I wasn't initially thinking of mentioning this, but I believe that the situation is dire, and I want the community to understand and advocate for the following. The world has witnessed unprecedented levels of pain and violence taking place in the Israel/Gaza region. Thousands of innocent lives have been lost on both sides of the conflict. Gaza in particularly, the situation is dire and inhumane conditions are making things incredibly worse, contributing to a devastating toll that has taken on Palestinian children particularly. Gaza currently is one of the world's most densely populated regions in the world. Half of its population are innocent Palestinian children. Half. It is because of this that it is no surprise that in the past week alone, there have been more children killed in Gaza than children killed in Ukraine war in the last year. Of course, I understand this is way above Calexico Council. However, we do have, every one of us have an elected official that we can bring this up to, which in this case, it's Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz. So I ask for the citizens of Calexico, I ask for my colleagues to send letters to your congressman so that he can support the ceasefire now resolution that is being proposed in the House of Representatives in order to create a ceasefire and stop the ridiculous amount of life that has been lost in the last week. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilperson. Vice Mayor Romo.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Ms. Colio and I attended the traditional annual Lazo Rosa walk, which seeks to raise awareness about the fight against breast cancer. The event was coordinated by the Mexican Consulate in Calexico, and I have a question, Ms. Colio. We need to coordinate with public health to have events related to health in general. Is possible for con Ms. Norma Gerardo for coordinate with Norma Gerardo,
Informational
please?
meetings,
Yes.
you mean? Okay.
And thank you, Mr. Tadeo, for the important event that you will do. So, thank you very much. That's it.
That's it? All right. Mr. Camilo on Zoom or telephone, if he has any council comments?
Councilmember
Garcia?
Garcia, do you have any comments?
Yes, thank you. First, I would like to start with an apology for not being there in the presence. I know it's a bit difficult to hear the audio, but I'm trying to catch everything that is going on. I want to first acknowledge, Chief Legaspi. Again, Mr. Legaspi, my apologies for not being there, but I want to express my most sincere gratitude to you and your family for the years of service to the citizens of Calexico. You will be missed. Thank you for all those years. Thank you for the leadership. Thank you for setting the foundations for many years to come on activities. And I hope that those activities that you collaborated in where you spearheaded, like the kids and badges, that continues, because that does bring a lot of cheer and happiness to our young population in Calexico. So I hope that that continues, but that is part of your legacy, Chief Legaspi. Thank you to your family. So on another note, also I want to, I had a chance to attend over the weekend, last Friday, a celebration for Mana Las Primeras, which they honored three amazing ladies of our valley, including our own Dean Gina Nunez from San Diego State, also Diana Garcia Ruiz from Heber, and my wife, Hortensia Armendariz, for the amazing work that they do in the community. Those are three great leaders of our community that have dedicated their lives to serve and not to be served. So it's an opportunity to follow as an example of these amazing women in our valley. So also I want to extend an invitation on behalf of the Imperial County Workforce Board. They will be hosting the first Lithium Valley Needs Assessment. When it comes to getting feedback, what they're looking for is to get feedback from businesses, city leaders, community in general, educators, and this will be an opportunity to discuss the needs of workforce, and then share some of the concerns, well, not concerns, but mostly what is it that it's out there on Lithium Valley, what is being discussed as far as workforce and economic development opportunities. This meeting will take place next Tuesday at 5:30 at the CAP Center located on 641 Rockwood Avenue here in Calexico. So everybody's invited. There will be translation in Spanish also for the first 50 people. They're hoping that they can get a good turnout, and this is again a good opportunity. I know the lithium discussions have been happening throughout the county, but Calexico finally will have a chance to hear more about this industry that is coming. So again, the invitation, and thank you. That's my comments.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Council member, I'll take my time to suggest some direction to city manager and to make some observations to the public, para el público. Nuestra próxima actualización de cuatrimestre financiero va a ser este 1 de noviembre. Es una fecha muy importante porque ahí se ven los ingresos y los egresos del municipio, todos los cuatrimestres, y este va a ser el último del año. Será muy importante observarlo.
Del año fiscal pasado.
Del año fiscal pasado, precisamente. Se reporta con un año en demora. We'll have our next quarterly fiscal financial report on November 1st, and it will be very important to see how the incomes and the expenditures of the city are going. End of year, talking about last year being reported this year. That will be November 1st. I definitely would like to give direction to City Manager Colio to consider a temporary fee reduction for seasonal events in Christmas that will apply for November and December to lower one-time business license costs for that temporary period.
Just to clarify.
Yes.
So you're requesting a temporary reduction of the cost. And what percentage?
50%.
Which time? From which time to which time?
To November to end of year.
In December?
November and December.
So
2 months.
2 months, yes.
Okay.
Due to lack of fee cancellation, or due to lack of fee collection in the bid, we should have a consideration to disband the bid commission. We do have university area zone change. I'll follow up by email with you, Ms. Colio, with more specific instructions for the zone change of the university area. I'll follow up by email. I know we had a pending item from Ms. Palomir last meeting about the parks. That one should be rolled over to November 1st. There was an ARPA update on parks expenditures. That one should be rolled over into the next meeting.
November the 1st.
Yes. And if I could kindly request that we have a very small and clear spreadsheet with estimated timelines. I feel like the community is most interested in knowing what phase we're in and estimated timelines for the allocations that we've made. The state of the city hopefully will be in December. We still have to see those details, but we're announcing it now that it's very likely to be in December. And I'll make the announcement and also direction. We do need to draft a resolution to reestablish the January to January mayoral rotation. I don't plan to continue to serve as mayor past December. I would definitely like to propose to reestablish a January to January rotation in the next couple of meetings. And that'll be it from me. And thank you so much. Thank you to the public for being in kind attendance at this meeting. Moving on to the consent agenda. There's a motion to approve the consent agenda by Vice Mayor Romo. Is there a second?
Second.
The consent agenda. Regarding the consent agenda, we need to pull one item.
There's a, okay.
Correct. And then also clarification for item number 9 of the consent. I want to clarify that that's also an introduction and first reading by title only of an ordinance of City Council, City of Calexico, adopting a military equipment use policy consistent with the requirements to AB number 481. Just want to clarify that for item number 9.
Does it have to be pulled?
No, just clarifying that for the
just
record.
clarifying. Okay.
On number 8, we did receive a request from Councilmember Garcia to go ahead to pull item number 8.
To pull, we would need a second. Is there a second to pull item number 8?
Number 8 is regarding the...
The Teco Monroy.
Yes.
Is there a second to pull item number 8? Seeing no second, no motion fails, and 8 will remain on the consent agenda. Okay, and Item number 9 was clarified, no need to pull. There's a motion to approve the consent agenda. We good?
Correct. We'll just make sure to take roll call on these items since we do have somebody teleconferencing in.
Yes. There's a second by Mr. Manzanares. If we could have a roll call vote.
Who's the first motion?
Mayor Ureña.
Ms. Romo made a motion. Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gloria Romo.
Yes.
Councilmember Camilo
Camilo
Garcia.
Garcia.
Ronnie, I couldn't hear if item number 8 was pulled.
It was not pulled due to a lack of second.
It was not pulled due to a lack of second.
Okay, so, but it's still, I do want to have discussion, so,
The item was not pulled. We cannot discuss it. We do have to vote at this moment.
I mean, if we have a first and a second, we can have discussion. If he wants to make a comment, I would allow him to make a comment, correct?
Sure. A quick comment.
Can you put on the microphone for the comments?
On now? Go ahead. For your comment.
thank you. On item number 8, I see that it reads that something will be built. So I do want to understand what is it that is going to be done, because we're only allocating $50,000. And some of the concerns that are being brought up on that item is the mitigation of mold and other issues that are not really explained. So we know that with 50,000, that wouldn't take us, long, or a lot, to do a lot in that facility. So, and we know also, we've known that facility has had issues. So I just want to know what is it that is going to be done with $50,000 and how or what is going to be mitigated on that, because it's not enough. I think more should be done. Or what are we talking about here on that specific item? Because that amount wouldn't be enough to mitigate without knowing really what is there. It maybe might be enough, but there is not enough information for my understanding of this item.
Councilmember Garcia, can you hear me? Can he hear me?
Councilmember Garcia, can you hear?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason why we're trying to pull $50,000 is for the following. Precisely because what you mentioned, it is unknown, the conditions on the facility. All we know is there is an amount of mold, some issues with the air conditioning, some issues with the sewer system, because the restrooms, public restrooms are connected to the restrooms inside of the building. So what we came out with an idea was, we previously sent 2 travel trailers, additional travel trailers, besides the ones from the fire station that are already installed. And we want to make temporary accommodations for the traffic controllers so we can get them out of that building that is not safe for them. The travel trailers are arriving tomorrow. They're clean, they're ready to go. They have restrooms, they have air conditioning, everything is in the travel trailers. And so the funding that we're requesting is to have those trailers in the parking lot of the traffic controllers, completely clean up the facility, have an engineer to assess the facility to determine whether or not we can keep the facility, fix it, or if the facility is not viable anymore, to demolish the facility and start thinking about building another facility, because it's not safe for the workers. I personally went over there to check the issues that we have with that facility. The air conditioner is not working, it stinks, it's not safe for our employees. I'm against the idea of continue having employees working in those conditions. And that's the reason that we're requesting $50,000 to be set aside so that we can start also assessing the facility. Ms. Romo was there before me, and we identified the issues, and we believe this is the best way to ensure the safety of the employees while they're doing the work as a traffic controllers.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Colio. We do need to vote on
Thank you,
the
ladies.
consent
Let me
agenda.
just have a follow-up. Thank you, City Manager Colio. And I understand this is the reason why I was wanted to have this discussion on this item, because again, we have known that many issues are in that building, and don't get me wrong, I do want to make sure that our staff, our traffic controllers, have something that is safe, something that is just provide them with at least the basic needs that they need to have met, doing their jobs. So, but it's just, going back to the item, and I'm not gonna just, drag it to this, but it said on this item, it said to construct a temporary police department substation for a parking traffic control division. Okay, so that was my question and the reason why I wanted to bring up. But after hearing your explanation, I just, the way that I see it, maybe it's just an assessment, in as to what is going to be done to mitigate, some of those issues that have been brought up. But I just want to make sure that this is clear to the council, to the community, and most of all to our staff. But thank you for the explanation. Appreciate it.
Okay, his vote?
Councilmember Garcia, we have a vote. We have a first and a second to approve consent agenda.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Mr. Manzanares? Anybody else missing on the roll call? No? All right, motion passes unanimously. Moving on to discussion and potential action items. Potential action regarding City of Calexico Christmas holiday celebrations, event dates, November 30th for tree lighting, December 9th for Christmas parade, adopt a budget resolution. If we could keep the presentation as short as possible so we can
Super
get to
simple.
turn.
It's right there in your staff report.
Yes.
The dates we are proposing is Thursday, November 30th for the tree lighting. We're excited to promote and bring back the city's Christmas parade, and we're proposing for that to be on Saturday, December the 9th, as we traditionally host it on the second Saturday of December. And trying to do the numbers, we come up with an estimated amount for both events of $27,000. We're proposing from taking this from the downtown rehab to go for these Christmas celebration festivities.
Thank you, Ms. Gerardo. There's a motion to approve by Ms. Romo. I'll second that motion. Are there any comments from council?
Long overdue, so ready to vote.
Okay.
Is that a second?
I'm the second.
You're the second.
Mayor Raúl Ureña,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Gloria Roma,
Yes.
Councilmember Camilo Garcia,
I do have a comment. I'm sorry I didn't hear the part of the discussion.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
my comment is that first, using ARPA funds, and this is a question for Esperanza. Esperanza, did you check on the legality and allowability to use ARPA for this celebration?
Yes, sir. Last year, we made the same call for the Christmas tree. As you may recall, we used some of the ARPA funding for the same issue, and we consulted with the attorney, so it was okay for us to use it.
Okay, so that's one question. Another question. Instead of, and I see that it also says that we will be also asking for donations. Who's going to be asking for those donations?
Ms. Gerardo has drafted letters of support for donations from different agencies, and Mayor Ureña will be signing the letters on behalf of the cities requesting donations.
Okay, who's handling that? I mean, the money when they come in, usually, remember, it is usually best when you have a nonprofit organization handling this money is because of, just the process, the cumbersome process that, it involves to disperse some of these monies. Do we have a nonprofit? Do we have a way, a mechanism to spend this money without this, probably going to the general fund? Is there a special account where we can solicit, donations? Because in other projects, that has been an issue when we solicit donations. So how is this set up?
So there's two ways to do it. Once that we receive notification that a donation will be made to the city, we can do, number one, a budget amendment to create an account to deposit the payments. If the donations are to be made in cash. If the donations can also be made, which can also be made in services, we can make those agencies to pay directly the expenses. For example, let's say that we need a van, and the van is going to cost $5,000, and one of the nonprofit organizations is willing to pay for that, they can pay directly to the vendor, not through the city. That's a second way to do it. So it all depends what kind of response we receive. Once that we have the responses, we come back to the next city council meeting and establish either the accounts to receive the donations or to provide you with an update of what kind of donations we're going to receive in services, paid directly to the vendors.
Another question on the tree lighting. So is this a city hall then, the tree lighting?
Yes.
Okay. And on the day for the Christmas parade, have we looked into, or did we look at, maybe this is for Ms.
The city hall is the one that is being proposed for the Christmas lighting.
Okay.
Okay, no, but for the Christmas parade, maybe Ms. Gerardo, if we looked into when are the other cities hosting their Christmas parade, so that way we don't compete and people have a chance to maybe participate and enjoy, because sometimes, families go to a parade or they have to take their kids to participate in, other parades. So did we look into making sure that we're not coinciding with other parades throughout the valley?
Mr. Garcia, this is Norma. Yes, we already checked with the other cities. We would be the only parade that morning. We are aware that City of Imperial does have a morning event at their city, but it's not going to be a parade. So we would be the only parade in the morning that day. I also checked with the high school, and the second Saturday of December seems to work better for the school district.
Because on that also, I did have a meeting with, the superintendent and one of the board members from the Calexico Unified, and also Director Gonzalez from IID and a couple of other citizens that were looking into having a parade before we knew that this was being planned by the city. And I think we were talking about this at the same time without knowing what was going on. Even myself, I didn't know that the city was planning a parade. So the schools are really, really excited to participate, and they committed to have the students participate. They were even, willing to provide any assistance when it came to the the organizing and making sure that, the students had everything that they needed. But also we were looking at maybe the 16, it was a better date because of, the second will be Central, the 9th will be, Imperial, and the 16th, I think it was a better date. But that was just something that was mentioned and, something to keep in mind.
Ms. Luna, we do need to call for the question. We do need to call for a vote at this moment. We've extended a little bit on discussion.
Mr. Garcia, we need your vote. We have a first and a second.
If I could just, hopefully, I don't know who made the first and who second, but if the first, if they will be willing to consider moving the date from December the 9th to the 16th.
Yeah, my motion is the report presented for Ms.
December the
Gerardo on the agenda is very complete.
Yes.
Thank you. My motion is same. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're just calling for a question.
Did you hear that, Mr. Garcia?
But did you say that it stays the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Can
Aye.
Okay, that is a yes.
Councilman
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Gerardo. Moving on to item number 11 by Ms. Valomir, resolution of City Council to execute a contract to repair one sinkhole at the intersection of First and Heber. Adelante.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. Back in August 4th, staff as well as the community discovered a sinkhole on the intersection of First Street and Heber Avenue. We went to go ahead and found that it needed to be fixed immediately. Therefore, we followed our city ordinance when it comes to purchasing policy, advised our city manager, and she went ahead and gave us the authorization to contact a Imperial Valley contractor to assist us with the excavation, as well as finding what was wrong. It was found that we needed to replace a portion of the storm drain line as well as the Y on the storm drain line. So A&R went ahead and did the excavation of the area, as well as repaired the line, also filled it with the concrete and refilled and patched and the sinkhole area. So we come before you to approve the attached resolution because the work has been completed, and therefore we can process payment to A&R in the amount of $125,607.
Motion to approve?
One question, Ms. Olovina, because I'm aware that this sinkhole has been a continuous problem for the city of Calexico. The way that it was currently, was it that we can expect it to not be a problem in the near future again?
Well, we are looking into, we need to fix the whole storm drain line in that area. But for right now, this is a fix that we hope to have for quite some time before we can process all the plans and specifications and fix the storm drain line in that area.
And just to further clarify the situation, I was there almost every single day during the excavation. I want to know that an abandoned force main was there that is supposed to be pulled off many years ago, and it's those cast iron type of line, force main. What it does is it accumulates water and it becomes deteriorating and it's becoming sinking, and it creates a problem. Just so everybody understands, the city doesn't have the equipment that is able to dig all of the way like 20 to 40 feet down. And for that reason, for many years, it was a continuous problem in that specific corner. And so this time, to address the issue, we hired the company so that we can dig completely and find the issues. There are different levels and where the lines are installed in the streets, so just everybody understand. At a number of feet, you will find the water lines. At another number of feet down, you will find the sewer line, the sewer that goes into the restrooms to every house. And right at the bottom is the drainage system, which is the one that takes the water from the streets when it rains. That was the one that was damaged. It was disconnected at the bottom, and it was creating humidity, and it was sinking. It has been fixed. However, we know for sure that that line is too old and it's compromised all of the way through the whole downtown. So we could expect that in the future, there will be another section that might have another sinkhole. But for now, that specific area is being fixed, which is good news. But I just want you to make you aware that we may have additional problems in the future because the line was fixed in that particular area. It doesn't mean that the line cannot fill in a different section. Thank you.
Is there a second? A second? Second by Ms. Romo. Roll call vote?
Mayor Raúl Ureña,
Yes?
Mayor Pro Tem Gloria Romo,
Yes.
Councilmember Camilo Garcia.
I do have a comment also on that, and it's this. And probably Esperanza did cover some of that, but I just want to know what is the warranty of this type of work, or I don't know if the council member Manzanares alluded to that, maybe. This type of work that was done, because again, just from the naked eye, what I did see that, they went and worked on this sinkhole. And, next thing, it's like a few days later, they were back at, working. So what's the warranty on that type of work from this type of, companies or contractors? That's one. And another one, I see that, invoices being brought, like two months later, so if we can just expedite this a little bit more, I think that would be best, so that way we can make sure that we are, and I know we're short staffed also, but, if we can just expedite, or maybe if we can just be in line with the process that, takes place from construction to, being invoiced, so that way we keep up with, our monies, and, again, these are special monies that are used, I get it, but we need to make sure that we stay on top of it.
Thank you. Calling for a vote.
Councilmember Garcia.
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Councilmember Manzanares.
Yes.
Okay,
Motion passes.
Moviendo a la número 12, moving on to number 12. It's unanimous. My motion and Ms. Romo seconded. Para esos que están esperando su comentario al público, nomás nos faltan 3 materias, 3 more items for the rest of the public comments. Item number 12, by our contract planner, first reading and by title only of an ordinance adopting a zone text amendment, section 1703-140 to zoning ordinance to allow carports within the established front yard setback for residential zones.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, members of the public and council. So currently, the Development Services Department has seen an increase in inquiries wanting to develop carports within their residential areas. The current zoning ordinance of the city of Calexico currently requires carports to have a 25-foot front yard setback, and for attached carports to have at least a 12-foot front yard setback. Given that most of the residential properties in the city are already built to that 25-foot front yard setback, the majority of these properties, per the code, cannot build a carport. So therefore, we're proposing this text amendment to reduce the setback requirement for carports that are open on 3 sides, and instead of being a 25-foot front yard setback, it could be up to a minimum of 5 feet in the front yard. And so the item was presented to the Planning Commission on September 25, where they unanimously voted to recommend approval of the text amendment to the City Council.
Thank you, Mr. Francisco.
I would like to make a comment.
Sure.
And I would like to make people aware why it's important, this ordinance.
Yes.
As you may know, a lot of community members are building their car garage. They converting those into an apartment, a second apartment. When they do that, they don't have a car garage anymore. So what they really want to do is to build a carport. But because the current ordinance is so strict, we cannot provide a permit. And it gets people upset because they still want to have some sort of like a little porch or something to cover their cars. So we have been having those issues for a while. And one way to fix the issue is allowing that setback to be shorter so they can build the porch and cover their cars. So in simple words, that's what it means. So I would really recommend that to happen because it would encourage other residents to build apartments, also ADUs, because we needed so much the housing. So it's a good method for them to continue having their cars in a safe place while they're developing their properties as well.
Absolutely. I was going to congratulate Francisco. This is exactly the type of proactive, community-centered planning text ordinances that we need to be pursuing, especially when they do facilitate the housing that we need in this community. Mr. Manzanares, you were going to...
I was just going to make a motion to approve. This
to
is just making things easier for our community to build carports, incentivize housing, so I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Manzanares, second by Ms. Roma. Roll call.
Mayor Reina.
Yes.
Mayor Chandra Romo.
Yes.
Councilmember Camilo Garcia.
I have a question for Planner Barba. Mr. Barba, on you said attach. This has to be attached to the structure, and also in reading this, does the garage have to be converted in order for this to be able, for people to be able to do this? Or that's not this wouldn't be a requirement anymore?
Okay, so hello, council member, this is Francisco. So the proposed text amendment is for both attached and detached carports. So they will all be having a minimum of 5-foot setback. And yes, this, while the intent is to allow and facilitate the development of garage conversions, that's just a part of it. In general, this is for all carports, not just the conversion of garages for everyone in the future.
But what if the garage is not has not been converted? Would this be allowed for them to build an additional, say, carport, even though they have a garage, that the garage is not converted into a living space?
Yes, so the carport would qualify as an accessory structure, which is allowed regardless if they have a garage or not in the existing residence.
Okay, thank you.
Vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Gilberto Manzanares.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to overview of vacation of West 6th Street. We can make the presentation short and come to a recommendation.
Thank you, Mayor. So this item was presented to the City Council on October 5, 2023, and after hearing public comments and reviewing all relevant documentation presented, the Council voted to table the item for the October 18th meeting, which is today, to allow the applicant to submit additional documentation between the years 2018 to current regarding his proposed vacation. So upon concluding the meeting, city staff coordinated with the applicant, and the applicant submitted a 79-page document, and it consisted of a timeline of events along with email communications, approved encroachment and grading permits from the city, payment receipts from the city of Calexico, invoices from developers for the proposed improvements in the area, as well as additional project site photos. So it's important to note that many of the submitted items detail the overall project, but do not necessarily relate to the vacation itself. And additionally, the items, while the encroachment permits and the inspections and receipts do indicate that the city did grant permission for the applicant to develop that segment on the road and pave it, it does not necessarily mean that ownership was granted to the owner. So the property still belongs to the city of Calexico. And additionally, given the short time frame between the October 4th and October 18th city council meetings, the Development Services Department could not coordinate or did not have enough time to coordinate with the Finance Department, the Public Works Department, the Engineering Department, and other ones. And the only items that they were able to, or files that they were able to dig into was the Development Services Department.
Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Collier?
I understand. I want to take both sides of the situation. On a one side, the person, the applicant in this case, was given a permit and was given an encroachment permit as well. Staff didn't follow the process. But at the same time, as a city, we are obligated to do processes. And part of the processes require a Surplus Land Act, to comply with the Surplus Land Act. Otherwise, you literally giving up property from the city without a process. So it's like the chicken and the egg. We're against the wall in this situation. My recommendation, if you allow me, is to provide item number, I think it's option number 3, which is a lease agreement, to follow the Surplus Land Act. Because if you do this today, we're still digging into the files of all the inconsistencies that were done at the planning department, and we don't know we're going to be faced with another similar situation that it could be worse than this one. We don't know yet. People are coming out with us of things that were not completed and they're in limbo. And so we want to make sure that we follow processes and that we don't create a pattern of forgiving or giving up land without a process.
Is your recommendation for a lease agreement of less than 5 years?
Less than 5 years, so that we can do the process of Surplus and maybe look into any other venue to make it work for everybody.
Just so that it's...
Less than 5 years.
Less than 5 years. Just so that it's clear for this council, for the portion of the lease agreement that is less than 5 years, that one has a different process than the 5+ years?
Yes, because with the 5 years, you basically, I don't know, Francisco, you can help me with that?
So the Surplus Land Act is, or falls for projects for the sale or lease of a city-owned property for 5 years or more. And if the city were to conduct a lease of 4 years or less,
Yes.
then they would be exempt from the Surplus Land Act.
Yes.
And in a way, we can go into an exclusive negotiation if it's less than 5 years, for example?
Correct.
Yes? Okay.
That's what I recommend you, the item, rather than the other one, what we're doing all the paperwork.
A lease agreement for less than 5 years?
Yes,
So
so
that we can have-
option number 3, it says least 4 years or less.
And lease, when we get to lease amounts, is that something we have to set right now, or is that something that comes back to the
You will
agenda?
have to provide us guidance with that. We can come back for the guidance regarding the amount. The fair market value, more or less, we'll find out. We need to check those.
Yeah, because it would be great if we could do it below market because of what has happened, so that we can
Yes.
retribute the investment.
Like I said, the fact that the city gave permits without following the process is, in a sense, responsibility of the city as well.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Manzanares, I know you have some opinions on this item.
Yes, I mean, unfortunately, I really do feel for the business owner who the city pretty much not, I want to say unwillingly lied to, promising something that they knew they couldn't deliver. The citizen itself has already submitted documentation in which it shows the state of the land in which the city had it in, which had a homeless encampment, various fires taking place in that property, and I believe it's Mr. Madrigal was able to better that land and property to now have it where it's actually clean and pretty much usable at this point, which is something that the city did not have. However, just my only concern is what you brought up, which is because I'm inclined to just follow through what the city said. I mean, Mr. Madrigal already invested over $50,000-$60,000 into this land, and us saying siempre no, right? We're not talking like $100 here, right? So, however, I am kind of worried about the way things were done previously, and some other contract or unspoken contract like this one coming up later. And if we go for option C, which I think it's reasonable, because my concern for going through the Surplus Land Act is that some nonprofit is able to take over, and then now we basically do Mr. Madrigal in an even worse possible manner. So I do like the option C, just for the sake of, not wanting to, because this land is already there. Mr. Madrigal has already had an encroachment permit. I would like to set like a symbolic amount, as we do with other nonprofits and buildings, just while we wait and see if any other contracts such as this come up. Right. So I'm not opposed to option C as long as we have a very reasonable symbolic amount set.
I absolutely agree. And would you like to make the motion, or would you like? I do have a motion ready as well. Are you thinking about it? Si quieres la digo. I'd like to make a motion to do option C for 4 years at $1 a year and enter into exclusive negotiations with the applicant.
Is within this lease, if, for example, at year 2, year 3, none of this other worries that we're thinking of are coming up, we're able to already enter negotiations or vacate an item back?
Yes,
Yeah?
we can,
Okay.
we can do that.
Okay.
Right now, we want to be conservative.
Right.
Because, just to give you an idea, we have 40-something projects of ADUs that were pending, and he's catching up with all of them. It's a number of permits that are pending. We don't want more surprises. There are so many projects pending.
Right, okay.
So we don't want surprises.
Yeah. Is there already a second?
No second yet.
I'll second that motion.
Here's the second. Is there any comments from Mr. Garcia?
Councilmember Garcia, comments?
On my comments, am I on?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, on my comments, I really, I was looking at option 3. I don't really like to, get rid of assets, from the city. And I know this is small land, and I know there has been arguments that, work was done, but, I don't think we're in the position, or at least, to just either vacate or just, go through a process where we, sell and get rid of this property, or any property for that matter. I think that has been my ongoing, approach to our a few assets that we have. I don't really want to sell. If there is a possibility of a lease, and I understand there is backup, there were things that happened, but unfortunately also on that backup, it is mentioned that, that some of that could not be verified. So because of lack of also facts, and it's just a lot of also just anecdotal information, I don't like to make decisions like that. I like to make decisions based on something that I have, that has gone through the process, that has gone through the established processes, because that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to make sure that for future, we do the right thing. We do the right process. So, and I don't think, we're following that. We're just trying to, maybe compensate for some of the miscues that were done on this deal. But, what I can just say is that, maybe a lease, but no vacate or selling. Those are my comments.
Thank you. All right, we'll call for the roll call vote on the motion to do option C, a lease agreement for 4 years at $1 a year with an exclusive negotiation with Mr. Madrigal, the applicant. There's a motion and a second. If we could call a vote.
Mayor Ureña?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gloria Romo?
Yes.
Councilmember Camilo Garcia?
You could just repeat what was the motion? I couldn't hear it.
Mr. Garcia, can you hear me?
No, if
Because he has the phone next to
Ronnie can probably repeat it, that's the one that I can hear.
Hello, council members? Can you hear me?
Yes.
There we go. The motion is option C, a lease agreement for 4 years at $1 a year with an exclusive negotiation for the applicant.
No.
Councilmember Maldonado?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion passes 3-1. Moving on to our final item of the night, appointment. There's an error on the agenda. It's no longer an appointment by Mayor Raul Ureña. It's an appointment by the council at large to the Police Advisory Commission.
And I just re-looked at that ordinance section. It looks like that it is still an appointment of, in this case, of the mayor for this item.
Oh.
Because the ordinance, if you notice the ordinance, when it talks about if you don't appoint a member within 45 days, you do have that provision in here. But if you look at Subsection C, it says this subsection will not apply to the police
Oh, to the police commission.
commission,
Excellent. All right.
correct.
Sounds
So,
good.
and I don't have the staff report with me. I'll relook at that to see if the intent is different, but in terms of the plain reading of the actual code, it says that this, the other subsection where if you don't appoint within 45 days for the police commission, that does not apply.
Who are our applicants? I didn't receive. What is the name of the one applicant? Ms. Guillen, if you could approach the microphone.
Gabriel Rodriguez.
Gabriel Rodriguez. Okay. Adelante. One public comment for this item.
Hi, so my name is Jasmine. I'm coming before you guys, I guess, more than anything, not Ureña, because obviously he's the one that brought this prior police officer, right? Am I not mistaken? Prior police officer? That's who you're trying to point? Okay, don't answer then. It's Ureña's appointment, so my question is more for Romo and Manzanares, probably Manzanares more than anything, since you run the Calexico Union Against Corruption page. It's really ironic that you're trying to appoint a fired police officer, right? I have here the confidential administrative investigation of Stone Garden overtime use and misuse of department resources by former police officer Gabriel Rodriguez. It's interesting that on the day that, interim chief Legaspi retired, I guess formally, this disgraced police officer is being appointed to the police commission. I thought we were against corruption and showing the citizens, right, the truth. So I'm going to leave this for you so you can read it. If you want, I can email you the 200-page report that was done. I have two actually for Casillas, Tiger Casillas, who's actually still an officer, and our planned, I guess, Commissioner Gabriel Rodriguez. Yeah, I just think it's kind of ironic that all of these things are happening, the checking of the bags, the fake threat, all of these things are happening at the same time, and I hope that the citizens of Calexico hold you guys accountable, because you guys are obviously not telling them the truth, right? It's really scary, especially if, people who are in positions like that of police, in the police capacity, right, that they abuse their power, right? I think we should all be against abuse, whether it be abusing overtime, right, getting paid more. I've heard that happen. I've heard that some people have been fired for that. So yeah, I think that's important that we don't bring these people back, right? We're going back to the past that we're running from. Isn't that true? We're running from the past where these things happened. You said you're present in 2014, 2015, 2016 when all of these things happened. So I don't know why you would think it's proper to do that now.
Thank you, Ms. Guillen.
Thanks. I don't know if you can.
Is that public comment for this item? No, public comment? I'll take it right now. All right, since this is still my appointment per code, I would like to formally appoint and name past officer Rodriguez to the Police Advisory Commission. Congratulations. Moving on to public, excuse me.
Where's the transparency?
Excuse me.
Where is the transparency? You are a disservice.
Sir, you've been warned. You cannot interrupt council proceedings. You have been warned.
I'm telling you, you are a disservice, a disgrace.
One more outburst and you will be escorted out.
All three of you are a bunch of clowns. How dare you guys? How dare you?
Please escort him out.
You guys are embarrassed. Bunch of clowns. Ridiculous. And the circus keeps growing and growing and growing. That's right. And it's stipulated, what I told you, you can't throw me into jail.
Please find your way up. Ms. Wong?
Okay, I'm a resident of Calexico, been here my lifetime, and you guys already know that. For the attorney, okay, I have a problem with you not speaking up in regards to this officer that was fired. Okay, he's already has proven that he's a liar, and you're gonna allow the city council to put him in as a police commissioner? When you had Tiger up here complaining about Joe Bialma, about having a pass and everything else, but you have no right to put someone that left Calexico. You have no right. All that has to do with, corruption. Okay? Missing funds that you talk about. Those were missing funds that went to these corrupted people. Okay? So to me, it's like, you're gonna be doing that? You three, Ms. Romo, I had a lot of respect for you. I had, as a person, because my mom really respected you. But you know what? All that has been lost, because as a councilwoman, you suck. I'm sorry. Okay? Urena, I understand you. Okay? You're like this, you're like this, you're like this. Okay? Like you think by doing that, you're showing us that you understand us, but you go against us. We're the citizens. We're the ones that need to be protected. Okay? Not by you just going like this and going against the citizens. You need to be able to understand what we're trying to do. I know you have your agenda. You've proven it time and time again. Manzanares, my respects to you, because you just sit there, but your big old comments about different things are outrageous. Okay? They're outrageous on the fact that, you know what? You talk and talk and talk, and you don't show us that you're here for the city. You're not showing anything for the citizens. Okay? Esperanza, when you give an option, don't give an option. This is it. We need the money, don't we? The city is broke, supposedly, right? There's ARPA money allocated for this and that. Parts. Like, I'm on the schedule to speak for another 3 minutes because Tony Rodan had given me the 3 minutes. But let me tell you something. The only thing he wanted me to say is, has anybody spoken to Vincent Memorial regarding the Rodriguez Park? Has anybody followed up on any of the agendas that are here? You guys put something on the agenda today, and then in 2 weeks, you forget about it. At least when Castro and Maritza and Rosie, they would talk about an agenda item today, and we would ask questions, and they would follow up on it. Okay, they would bring it back. Moreno talked about Rockwood Plaza or Rockwood Promenade. That hasn't been taken down. I have a disability. That hasn't been taken down.
Excuse me, how much time do you need for your disability?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. How much time?
A couple of minutes.
How much? No. How much time does your legal disability allow?
I said a
you?
couple of minutes.
A couple minutes? I'll give you a minute and a half.
Well, you
Proceed.
disturbed me already, so. But let me
Proceed.
tell you something, okay? Moreno brought that up. Why hasn't it been open? And why wasn't it followed up? Vincent, how come it's not followed up? About the port of entry having bathrooms, how come that's not followed up? And how come you don't come as a council, get together? Instead of you guys being at City Hall and bothering everybody, why don't you guys go over there and do your jobs? That's part of it. Following up on things that you guys talk about. Not just bringing one item today and, oh, we're going to do this. And about the land, okay? Once again, we need money. Oh, it's a disservice. Yes, it's a disservice to the gentleman. I understand that. However, I heard from two people over there, the attorney and Esperanza, fair market value, okay? So that makes you, what, $1? Is that going to bring the finances up? What you did last time too, about right away trying to manage and see how you're gonna waive fees, you know what? It's ridiculous, okay? Take your time and do your due diligence and think about it and at least bring it back. Don't just vote on shit because you know what? Excuse my French. It's not working for the citizens. I pay the taxes. I pay everything. What do? None of you guys own homes in Calexico.
Thank you. That is 1 minute and 30
You know,
seconds.
you guys don't have anything.
Ms. Wong, your time has expired. Thank
I
you.
understand that, and I will be walking out. But my thing is, you know what?
You may take your seat.
Listen to me
Ms. Wong,
and make sure that you
your
listen to
time
the
has Your
citizens.
time has expired. Thank you. For the record, Mr. Valdez has stepped out. Mr. Rodolfo Valdez from Heffernan. Mr. Pedro Ortiz making a call for his public comment. Ms. Viridiana Osuna, is she still present? Ms. Osuna? Not present. Misael, adelante.
Hello everybody, to my fellow constituents and my fellow Calexico citizens. Also hello to the council members and office members. I'm just here to bring awareness to this project that we have. I am here as the secretary of the Calexico DIY project, nonprofit organization. Like I said, I just want to bring awareness to this project that we have, which is to bring, to be able to give kids presents to every children of Calexico and every parent to help them have presents for their children. So we're just doing a donation, a toy drive. If you guys want to support us, you guys could help us reach us out to Calexico DIY and Facebook and also on Instagram. If you guys have any donations that you would like to give, such as toys, shoes, or even clothes, would be accepting them at the SoCo in front of Philco right here on Imperial Street. And that's pretty much it. I just want to bring awareness to that, and I also want to say, I want to ask for help from you guys people. If you guys know anybody that is in need, that might have that would like some assistance from us, if you could please guide us to them or guide them to us so that we could help them. So that's all that I'm asking for your guys' help in order to make this possible. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Señor Salcedo. Adelante, disculpe. Guadalupe. Muy buenas noches.
Buenas noches a todos. Mi nombre es Guadalupe Salcedo. Vivo en el 2100 de la Bielma Corp, aquí en Calexico, por más de 25 años ahí en ese lugar. Muy bien, pues ha sido una noche tormentosa. Bueno, no sé qué decir, muchas cosas que he visto esta noche. Bueno, muy bien. Tenemos un retention base en la Zapata y Bielma y el señor amigo Héctor Ochoa y yo, su servidor, hemos trabajado mucho en ese lugar limpiándolo. Una parte nomás, el lugar es muy grande y hemos hecho pues nuestro mejor esfuerzo trabajando 4 o 5 días por semana. En las mañanas porque tenemos que trabajar aparte. Pues hemos venido a pedir ayuda a la ciudad de Calexico para que limpien el lugar porque pues es una zona residencial. Todo Calexico es bonito, pero si lo mantenemos limpio va a ser más bonito. Entonces yo quiero pedirles que nos limpien ese lugar y que lo rieguen. Tenemos más de 100 árboles. Hace 2 o 3 semanas nos cerraron el agua y sin agua no podemos hacer nada. Lo único que estamos haciendo con este calor que ha estado haciendo pues es regar, pero sin agua pues no podemos hacer nada, se están secando las plantas. Yo ahorita antes de venir a la junta fui a abrir la llave a ver si había agua, no hay agua, no podemos hacer absolutamente nada. Entonces, por favor ayúdenos. Yo les invito pues a ustedes tres que están ahorita aquí y a la señora Colio, pues si pueden ir mañana. Si pueden, yo estoy a las 8 de la mañana ahí porque tengo un compromiso espiritual a las 7 de la mañana y es mi alimento del día. Pero a las 8 puedo estar ahí, sé que es jueves, si no hacemos nada ya mañana, viene el viernes, sábado y domingo, las cosas van a empeorar. Sí. Yo puedo ayudar y me ofrezco de voluntario como lo he sido, pero pues no encontramos respuesta de ayuda de parte de la ciudad y ya se cansa uno. Yo ya tengo 66 años, mi corazón está por Calexico. Pido pues dos cosas: urgente, que abran el agua. Dos, pues en la medida que sea posible, pero sin tardar tanto, pues que limpien. Sé que hay muchas situaciones aquí en la ciudad. Nosotros venimos, Héctor y yo, venimos en junio 15 del 2022, entonces creo que hemos estado esperando. Sé que hay muchas cosas por resolver, pero pues todo importa en esta ciudad. Tienen mi teléfono, nos ponemos de acuerdo. Ayúdenos, por favor. Ayúdenos. Y también, pues, mirando toda esta situación, voy a ser muy breve porque a lo mejor no alcanzan los 3 minutos. Mirando esta situación, la gente, somos muchos aquí en Calexico, somos poquitos los que venimos aquí a las juntas y venimos a exponer algo que nosotros vemos y ustedes a lo mejor están tan ocupados, pues que no pueden estar en todo, yo sé. Pero a mí me gustaría que escucharan esas quejas y se acercaran a la persona que hace la petición para que le preguntaran a ustedes, ¿y tú cómo crees que se puede resolver eso desde tu punto de vista?
Señor Saucedo.
No vamos a ser nosotros los expertos, ¿sí? Como ustedes tampoco, pero tenemos una administradora, tenemos un equipo de directores, somos un equipo, entonces juntos podemos hacer cosas.
Disculpe, por favor demuestren respeto a la persona mayor. Disculpa, esa determinación la hago yo. Señor.
Si se me terminó el tiempo, pues bueno,
señor,
yo me callo, ¿no? Pero
sí,
soy parte de Calexico.
Sí, respetuosamente.
Entonces, miren, yo lo que estoy viendo ahorita, por eso ahorita dije, ¿de qué voy a hablar? Yo la verdad me siento triste y yo venía bien contento, ¿eh? ¿Por qué me siento triste? Porque...
Excuse me.
Bueno,
Please respect the speaker.
Los que estamos aquí todos somos de Calexico.
Señor Guadalupe, sí lo tengo que interrumpir por los 3 minutos.
Sí.
Pero le digo de frente, no puedo ir mañana, pero esto sí amerita una junta entre nosotros y Obras Públicas por unos temas muy específicos que estamos considerando en los retention basins. Entonces, en unas 2 semanas, yo le hablo directamente y dentro de esas 2 semanas sí me comprometo a ir de nuevo al parque que conocemos y vamos a arreglar esto. ¿Sí?
Bien, gracias.
Pero ya sabe usted que fui hoy. No, fui hoy, hice el reporte a la señora Colio, tomé fotografías, tomé video. La señora Colio hizo un correo muy amable y con instrucciones a la señora Falomir. El asunto del que usted está tratando hoy mismo se arregló, nada más para que sepa. Y fui hoy, y usted sabe que fui hoy.
Estaremos en contacto.
Gracias.
Muy bien. Ms. Cindy Hernández. Señora Hernández. Señora Hernández. Okay. Our last speaker of the night, Ms. Victoria Montes. Or second to last speaker. There's one more.
Okay, my name is Victoria. I live here in Calexico. I have a question for you. Why did you dismantle the bid commissioners? They just started, and they started working with businesses downtown in which they, you really don't care for a business downtown. So they're doing your job, they're helping the businesses, and you don't, I just don't know. Can you please can you explain it? Or you're not gonna explain to the people here why you did that? I mean, why, you got two people with great business knowledges, right? They have business for a long time. Mr. Groch and Ms. Morales, they've had so much, and they have ideas. And you guys, I don't want to put you down or anything, but you guys don't have knowledge in business, like actually have a business or employment, where actually, if they help people get their business going, they're going to get more employees, and we have more revenue. So Calexico is going to be better. Why did you dismantle? I just don't understand why. Is there a reason for it?
That item's will be on the next agenda.
You cannot engage.
I'm not engaging. I'm just letting her know that it's in the next agenda. It's not something we can discuss at this moment.
You cannot discuss it, so
Until the next agenda.
So why did you make her get up and talk instead? Why didn't you actually talk to her and say, hey, we're gonna dismantle? Why make her come over here and embarrass her, embarrass the people that work so hard? Why didn't you call them and say, hey, we're gonna dismantle, don't come down? Or why? Why did you do that? You're not gonna talk about it, so we're gonna have to wait until the next meeting to hear about this?
Yeah, just want to remind the public, this is generally public comment, and because these items aren't agendized, that's how come we can't discuss them.
You can't discuss it?
Because it's not on the agenda, that's the reason. If at the end, sometimes, people can give a quick comment, staff sometimes will give a brief comment, but because items are on the agenda, that's the reason they can't be discussed.
Okay, so
it's
if it wasn't discussed, how come it was dismantled? If it wasn't discussed?
That item's not on the agenda, is what we're trying to tell you.
I understand, but why did you dismantle it if it's not in the agenda?
Thank you, Ms. Montes. Muchas gracias por tu comentario.
No, I need more time because I'm.
A disability?
Yes.
How much time do you need for your disability?
Enough time for you to explain to me. Why?
I can't engage. How much time do you need for your disability?
An hour.
No.
Do you have an hour?
That's an unreasonable request.
Well, that's an unreasonable. I just don't understand
Ms.
it.
Flores,
Why don't you do?
Ms. Montes, you may have a seat.
No, I'm not. I need for you to understand.
You may have a seat. Your time has expired. Thank you. You may have a seat.
Are you telling me a disabled person that I don't have time?
You've made an unreasonable request for an hour and it has been denied. Do you have another request?
A minute.
Okay, you may have 1 minute for your disability. Go ahead.
Okay, Mrs. Colio or the attorney, can you explain to me why? I still don't understand why. If it's not in the agenda, they dismantled it. No?
This is public comment.
No?
This is public comment, so.
Huh?
This is the time for the public comment. You can make your comments to the council.
I'm
to
public.
staff.
I'm public. Am I not a public? Am I public comment? Yes?
This is the public comment section on the agenda where you can talk about items that are not on the agenda, correct?
But you made it for us to do the comments at the end. Why, I don't understand. I just don't understand why you can't comment or give me any explanation.
Mayor, I would recommend that you give me direction to meet with this individual later on and explain the situation to her. How's that?
Her 1 minute has expired. Thank you, Ms. Montes. Please have a seat. John from Mountain Cascade. Ms. Bernal, if you desire to speak, you have to fill out a slip. But Valdez, I know, but you have to have one for yourself. If you could fill one out really quickly. I'm sorry. Thank you. John, we didn't catch your last name for the record.
Okay, my name's John Rawlings. I'm with Mountain Cascade. I'm in charge of the new Calexico River project. Just really quickly, just want to give you guys kind of heads up what's going on with this project. We've had an extreme amount of shutdowns due to the environmentalists. Currently, we are still shut down because of the owl issue. In the contract, not Ms. Coolio was involved in it, but it was prior to the city manager. They accepted a bid that was extremely low, and their contract was ended in April 30th, so I was able to start the project May 17th. Currently, we still haven't really done much of anything on this project because of the owls. So Ms. Coolio's finally got somebody else coming out there to get them relocated for us so we can go forward. The other issue is the design engineer missed an awful lot of stuff for this project. You currently have 2 main sewers for the city of Calexico that goes into the treatment plant that were not on the plans. And I went ahead and had them cambered because I have to go 17 feet underneath them. They're all in disarray. There's no possible way for me to even support it. So it's going to end up causing an environmental issue. So we sent over a bid last week to get that repaired because that is also delaying the project now. And I've been here since March. So I know most of the decisions goes through the city council in order to make those decisions. I don't think you guys understand what the delays right now are costing the city. It's substantial. Now you're going to add another 2 months waiting for this decision on the sewer. So if you guys can look at it soon and get us an okay, because I've got crews coming back in November. We've got some stuff we've got to do on the intake structure. Then I want to take those crews and get those sewers repaired so I can continue the project. So, because that's going to probably be another 2-month delay on the project. So I just want to see if I can get you guys' help to try to push this through because there's a lot of stuff that's been happening on this project that's costing the city a lot of money. Because I don't know if you've seen all the equipment that's out there that's parked. So it's costing every single day. So I'd like to try to get the sewer ordered because it will take me 5 weeks to get the materials here. So we can get the intake structure going, then we can fall back and get those sewers repaired, then I can really start on this project hard. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Ms. Bernal? Ms. Guillen, do you have a request as well? I saw you. Okay. Okay. Just make sure you're turning your SIP as well. Thank you. Ms. Bernal?
Good evening, Silvia Bernal, 818 4th Street. I'm here just to let you know that Hefferman is having a health fair and a 5K run. It's going to be on October the 28th. It's a Saturday, and it's going to be at the Calexico High School football field. We're having vendors, and as a matter of fact, I heard the man talking about wanting to do a farmer's market, and we're going to invite him, see if he wants to join us. But anybody that has to do with health or any other information for our community is, we have these flyers, and if you just go ahead and tap your phone and you can get the webpage there if you want to sign up for this. This is we're going to have a lot of prizes, games. We really want to make it nice, especially since we're having it out in the football field. Also, one more thing, Tony's going to translate in Spanish, but I just want to tell you that I'm sure that all of you are aware that the Hefferman Board has been delegated to run the county hospital, to put everything into order, and to the Hefferman Board, that is an honor, because it's coming from the state of California that we are going to put this project together, and hopefully it will resolve the issues with both hospitals that we have. We're now going to become a county hospital. After a couple of years, 1.5 years, Hefferman will no longer exist. It will be combined with Pioneers and with El Centro Regional. So to us, that's great news because, you know, finally somebody is believing in us that we can do the job. So Tony's going to translate in Spanish. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bernal. Mr. Pimentel, for translation.
Buenas noches. Vamos a tener una feria de salud y también es una carrera de 5 kilómetros. Va a ser en el campo de la Calexico High School, en el Track and Field. Todos están invitados. Ya hay varias agencias locales que están registradas para participar, para hacer chequeos de salud. Y va a haber también varias agencias del condado y de los hospitales también de la comunidad. Pueden visitar el sitio del sitio internet del distrito, heffermanmemorial.org. También ahí se pueden registrar para la carrera y es un walkathon familiar también. Gracias.
Gracias, señor Pimentel.
Sí.
Thank you, Ms. Bernal. All right, Ms. Guillen.
Again, just you guys are my my audience. I think it's quite shameless and brazen and just downright stupid. You're shutting down the bid, which we're in dire need of a bid, right? The whole reason I kind of started coming to meetings again was because you guys shut down Rockwood and all of these business owners told you what was going to happen, and exactly that has happened, and you still haven't done anything. But you'll dismantle bid, you know, basically fuck over the business owners.
Excuse me, please avoid profanity.
Thank you. Thank you for
chambers.
that. Anyways, you're dismantling the bid and you're bringing back the police commissioners. Why? I don't understand. Obviously, you guys are against. Aren't you guys like anti-police, anti-law enforcement? No? Fight the power? No? So then what happened? How did that change? I don't understand. Also, you guys like to use, I guess, wrong statistics, right? You guys are saying that since 2010 that there's been a drastic reduction in staff, right? You guys love to use that to your to whatever means that necessary, right? You use whatever you want, but they're not true. Those were positions that were canceled. They weren't people that were fired. They were positions that were canceled. So if you'd like to tell the public and the young people online so that they are not being lied to, obviously that's not the truth. So if you'd like to meet with the ex-city manager, Oscar Rodriguez, he'll let you know what exactly happened to those numbers. Because there's a lot of like gray area in those statistics. Right? Statistician over here, Masters. There's a lot of gray area in those statistics that you guys like to use online. Anyways, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Guillen. That does conclude public comments. Moving on to future agenda items. We're still within. The rest of the council has to have, and I'll reiterate those just so that they're on record. Anybody in this council, Mr. Garcia, Manzanares, Romo, have future agenda items?
I want to revisit the possible opening of the Kermit Park. I know that there was concerns from Recreation Department regarding that that's the only venue that we have as a city. But I have concerns regarding having a public park being close to the public, the Kermit Park being the one with the stage behind the library.
And it's close, right?
Yes. Just to revisit that idea, because I know that I made that future agenda item quite a while ago. As well as I want to follow up regarding several months ago we gave direction for city to adopt new zoning regarding the signage. For an example, the Calexico Brewery was one of the ones that was here. We gave direction for changing that to allow them and other businesses to promote their businesses in a more effective manner. That's it for me.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Manzanares. Ms. Romo?
Ms. Colio, only a report about the 2 fire station, please. for the next meeting.
Mr. Garcia, Councilman? Ron, that didn't-
Councilman Garcia?
Yes, I would like to again request, that the Rockwood Street item be brought back for consideration of reopening the street. Both Councilman Moreno and I had requested that, at the previous meetings. We were told that it was going to be on this agenda at 10:18, and it wasn't. So I just want to make sure that again, it's on the agenda, it's on record, that I want to have this on the next agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. I'll just reiterate my previous requests and city council comments, which is the temporary fee reduction for one-time business in the Christmas season, November and December, to disband the bid due to lack of collection of fees. University area zone change. I'll be emailing more specific directions to the city manager. And the resolution to reestablish January to January mayoral rotation.
Yes.
And that'll be it from me. Is there a motion to adjourn? There's a motion by Ms. Romo.
Second.
Your second by Mr. Manzanares. A roll call vote.
Mayor Daniela?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gloria Romo?
Yes.
Councilmember Camilo Garcia?
That's to adjourn?
Councilmember Gilberto Manzanares?
Yes.
Yes. This meeting is adjourned at 9:15 p.m.